Few places in the hoops world have as much history as Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Generations of great players have found themselves wearing a Tar Heels uniform, with many of them going on to have successful NBA careers. Now with draft night getting closer, we're seeing the rise of what many are calling the next great player to come out of UNC. And after a run of impressive performances to end the season, it's clear why Coby White is climbing up draft boards all over the league. Despite being a freshman on an upper-class-led North Carolina team, White averaged 16 points and 4 assists per game. The 19-year-old had over 30 points in 3 different games, including breakout performances against Texas, Miami, and Syracuse in the regular season. These scoring outbursts mixed with his ability to run the offense led UNC to the Sweet 16 and helped cement White among the top prospects in this year's draft. While Ja Morant and Darius Garland are both widely considered the best point guards in this class, Coby has found himself quickly rising into the conversation of a top 10 pick, and if you've been paying attention to his game, you can see why. The most important thing to note about White's game is he can do a little bit of everything. Unlike his peers Morant and Garland, who have specific skill sets that make them stand out, which I've done separate videos on and I highly recommend you check out, what separates Coby is his ability to play with a Swiss Army knife type of game. Specifically on the offensive end, he's capable of scoring from all 3 levels of the court, which can create problems for defenders. White shot over 35% from 3 this past season, hitting more than 5 on 6 different occasions. These included shots both off the catch and off the dribble, a skill that can separate good players from great players at the next level. His ability to stretch the floor opens up the rest of his offense, where he has a smooth mid-range pull-up game and a variety of finishes around the rim, where he has the ability to finish with either hand. Coby possesses good handles that allow him to change speeds and shift the defense, and sees the floor well for someone who had never played much point guard before this past season. At 6'5", White's got the perfect size that NBA teams look for in a combo guard. His height gives him the flexibility to play the 2 spot if needed, and gives a decent size advantage in a league where the average point guard is 6'3". It's refreshing to see a prospect with the killer scoring mentality that a lot of players lack coming into the league. White is not afraid to look for his own shot, and considering he has so many tools to his offensive game, I think this mindset is one of the reasons teams are rising him up on their draft boards. Ironically, one of the biggest strengths of White's game is also an area of concern for teams as well. The fact that Coby doesn't have any one skill that he excels at is alarming in a league that likes its stars to specialize in something. There are many great role players who have excelled with similar skill sets to White, but a top 10 pick would mean that a team is trusting him with their franchise, and a lack of identity on the court could hurt him down the road. That being said, he's only 19 years old with 1 year of high-level basketball experience. As he matures and continues to work on his game, I believe his all-around offense could become his specialty in the league. I think of guys like Jamal Murray and maybe even Damian Lillard eventually, where they are able to score in multiple ways on the floor while also creating for their teammates. I would say Jamal has a better shooting ability at this stage in his career than White does, and Lillard is by far a better vertical athlete than Coby is. But as far as their skill sets of being able to do multiple things on the offensive end, I think that White really shows some hints that he could be like that eventually if he continues to develop in that direction. Not to mention, his size and lateral quickness can allow him to guard multiple positions and assert himself as a solid 2-way player down the road. Most draft experts have White going in the top 10, either being the 2nd or 3rd point guard selected. Depending on how the lottery unfolds, there are a few teams who are looking to either upgrade the point or trying to develop a young player to take over in the future. Even though they're projected to be in the top 5, if Chicago misses out on Morant or feels like White is a better option than Garland, don't be surprised if the Bulls reach for him early or trade down in an effort to add that final piece to their young core. But assuming that doesn't happen, I'd say realistically White has the highest chance of going to a team like Memphis or New Orleans. With Mike Conley likely leaving the Grizzlies in the offseason, adding a prospect like Coby will allow them to mold a future centerpiece for their franchise. The Pelicans have been looking for a consistent point guard ever since moving Drew Holiday to more of a shooting guard type role, and adding White would allow for more flexibility for the two to interchange, while also allowing the franchise to prepare for the rebuild that's coming, considering Anthony Davis is walking out the door this summer. Coby White is the perfect example of seizing the moment. The way he was able to go from not being mentioned on most draft boards to a high lottery pick just goes to show the impact hard work and being ready to take advantage of opportunities can have on your future. White has a well-rounded game that you rarely see in a player his age, and if he keeps pushing, we could see another name added to the list of great players to come out of the state of North Carolina. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you so much for your constant support. Don't forget to drop a like, leave feedback in the comment section below, and subscribe for more. Remember to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new content, and follow me on social media. I've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the future, and I can't wait to share it with you. So stay tuned for that. As always, this has been Trice. God bless.